Yo, what's going on YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. It's your humble and gracious host. So maybe you've never seen me, been on my channel before. I am Stilo Vino. I love all things music. I do music commentary and reactions. So I came across this video. I was thinking about doing a Sade video, but I was like, let's see what the field has to say. And I came across this. It looks very interesting. So it says Sade, the dark secrets revealed. The reason why she vanished from the spotlight. That sounds interesting. I'm gonna get into it. I think the content creator is R&B Daily. Let me see. R&B Daily. I'm gonna put the link in the description box, and I'm gonna add my commentary in between, so it just doesn't look like I'm just stealing your content. I don't want to just take from you. Take money out of your mouth. I wanna have a conversation as if I'm talking with you. Like I want to do this as if I'm gonna ask questions in between, like some of your points. And if you ever see this and be like, you know what, I feel like he's stealing my content. Maybe I may have a point to put this up to be like, you know what, at least he added something. So it's up to you, obviously, if you want to, like, I hope you don't strike it. But if you really felt like that,
guys,
I
I'm
understand
about
it's
to
your
cash
content.
a check for $180,000 and get
I just don't want to get on here and steal your content. I thought it was interesting, so I want to, see if I have a spin on it, because I'm very curious too as to why she takes so long in between album cycles. And I always wondered, right, people that take this long, how do they live? How do they survive as artists? As a content creator, if I stop uploading, I don't make that much money yet anyways, but I would have to have another job, right? So, but she's a legacy act, and I think she does still tour, which I'll probably learn. Are you just great at saving? Do you invest? You must have other streams of income, and that also seems to be the reason why her art is so pure, because she doesn't rely on music to be her sole living situation. If she was, maybe that would water down her brand and her legacy. It's possible, but I think no matter what, if Sade released more frequently, I don't think it would hurt her brand at all. I think it's just a decision on her part, right?
Competition.
She wasn't forced into being reclusive, in my opinion.
Comes from inside us, the competition with ourselves, and to try and get better and want to get better, it comes from inside.
Sade. No need to ask, he's a smooth operator. Finally available, the Sade Diamond Life video.
On cassette tapes. This my mama era.
Well, for me, it's essential that I live my life and I keep in touch with my roots and my people, my friends, and I can't just sort of split myself in that way. I am really a country girl who, when I was 17, I went to the big city.
Gorgeous girl. Gorgeous. I mean, gorgeous woman. Sorry, I don't mean disrespect you, Sade. I don't mean disrespect you. Gorgeous
in London,
woman.
And I spent half of my life there in London. If I tell you now.
These artists that come from London, they do R&B and soul. Like where the soul come from? A lot of my favorite R&B comes from artists that are from the UK. And is there something in the water over there? I've never been to London at all. I just heard your food is not as appetizing, but that's just because we put so much bullshit in our food and in the States. That maybe has something to do with you. I can't really explain why they say your food doesn't taste good. I don't know why. And I know y'all don't have firearms. Is that like a country thing? That's all I know, is that y'all ain't got firearms and your food is not that great. Y'all get taxed hella. I heard it's hella expensive to live in London. And it's moody and it's cloudy all the time. Is that true in London? Is that true?
Sade,
and y'all like beans and shit? Is that true? Like beans, y'all put beans and tea with every meal? That's what I heard. Anyways, back to Sade.
Almost homeless, Sade's struggle was real. When Sade first hit the scene with Pride, she wasn't even the lead singer. She stepped up only because the original singer bailed.
I didn't know this. Sade is a band. I'm pretty sure you're going to get into this, but I thought Sade is a flat out band. She's just the lead singer. I learned that recently.
Talk about pressure. But once she did, she owned it, even if the industry tried to mold her into their puppet. Industry suits wanted her to change, to work with big-name producers, and basically sell out. But Sade wasn't about to let anyone dictate her sound.
Good
she
on
wanted
her.
to keep it real, authentic, and hers.
I respect it.
That's why she turned down big offers that could have compromised her vision.
And that's the thing. You have to make a decision as an artist, and you have to be realistic with yourself and what your goals are. If you want to be the biggest artist ever, you're gonna have to make some compromises, right? Because at the end of the day, it's the music business and it's a business, and they want to invest, to make a return on their investment. Yes, they have insurance policies. Yes, they have other artists on the label to where they're the cash cow and they can essentially take a loss. But understand, if they take a huge loss, that's going to be your last time on that label. You're going to get shelved. So if you want to do the things that you want to do, you're going to have to compromise, either being, you're never going to be this big super. She's huge though. So obviously that's just the curse of her talent. I'm sure that's a side that she doesn't like, the fame and everything like that, and being talked about and being dissected publicly. That has nothing to do with her music. Sometimes when you're that talented, you're thrusted into public discussion just because the music is that good. The art is that good that we're forced to talk about you. But if your goal was to be this manufactured media darling or this superstar, and someone else is paying it on their dime, yeah, you're going to get in the studio with this producer. Yeah, you're going to change that. You're going to get in the studio with these writers. No, that's not your single. That's not going to be your first single. I don't want you to open the album with that. I want you to open the album with this. I want you to do this. I want to do that. And if you, some artists, a lot of artists don't have the luxury to say no until deep into their career. And then they can start buying that luxury and that freedom because they have that leeway, because they've made a name for themselves, and they made, if they're still in the same label, they've made their label so much money that you kind of buy some freedom to have your artistic vision seen and your creative freedom, and to be able to take more risk. Because you made a lot of money on a couple other album cycles, so they're like, okay, fuck it, we'll let you do what you want to do. Fuck it, let them do what they want to do.
But it paid off eventually. And don't get me started on her personal life. Living in a squatted fire station with her boyfriend Robert Elms, dealing with no heat and a toilet on the fire escape.
Damn.
That's some hardcore struggle right there.
It really is.
No need to say that this relationship didn't last long. Meanwhile, the media was all over her.
She was like, I'm too pretty for this shit. A toilet on a fire escape? You gotta go. Matter of fact, it ain't me. You the bad luck, sir. You know what I mean? She got a point. That's how she felt.
And creating rumors. She was under a microscope, and it was relentless. Later on, she got married to a Spanish film director and moved away to Madrid.
To get started in data analytics,
God
you
damn
don't need
it!
previous experience.
Get your money though. I ain't gonna lie.
The Google Data Analytics Certificate.
I'm not gonna watch the ad, but get your money. I understand. This is how you get paid.
She's got those timeless jams and a vibe that's unmatched. But why does she keep disappearing from the spotlight? What's really going on with her?
Okay, let's see what's going on.
Sade's been in the game for nearly 4 decades, sold over 50 million records worldwide, and only dropped 6 studio albums. The last one was back in 2010.
14 years. Holy.
So what's the deal? Is there something happening behind the scenes that we don't know about? Why did she step away just when things were heating up? Was it the pressures of fame, personal battles, or something even deeper?
Probably a combination of all three.
In this video, we're going to break it all down, from her struggles with the industry and personal life to her journey of rediscovery and motherhood. We'll look at her early days, her unexpected transition from fashion to music, and
look at all those people. Oh my, gee, it's at least 120,000 out there. I know at least 100,000. That's like some Wimbledon shit.
How she became a global icon. Let's get into it. So let's talk about when Sade's world really got flipped.
I wouldn't wanna see you fall, rock climb for you.
After the roller coaster of her early career and personal struggles, she thought she found stability with Spanish film director Carlos Pliego. But nah. Life had other plans.
As it does, usually.
Their marriage started with all the bells and whistles, but it quickly turned into a storm. Sade packed her bags and left Madrid faster than you can say smooth operator. She took off with just a small bag, leaving behind what was supposed to be a new chapter.
Diamond light.
She described the whole ordeal as a very sad situation.
Well, you can't make R&B and soul music without no heartbreak. Kind of comes with the territory. It's probably why we love it so much.
Can you imagine? 1 minute, you're trying to make it work in a foreign country, and the next, you're on the move again. Heartbroken and starting over.
I didn't want to interrupt you in the middle of that point, but I heard somebody say on a podcast that, like, why do we have to look at our relationships as failures if it didn't work? Why can't we look at them as learning lessons? The fact that just be like, okay, we experienced it. Now we know what we don't like in a relationship going into the next relationship. And also, if it inspires some bangers, oh no, that's not a lot. I'm not really boo-hooing it unless he abused you physically, mentally, and emotionally. But if it just didn't work out and you weren't compatible, it doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. If other things were, I don't know that yet at the moment. Maybe it'll be revealed. Maybe it'll say in the comment box that like, no, she did go through some abuse. Then yeah, I understand. I completely understand. But if it's just like, it's not working out, I'm doing this, I'm focused, we just want different things out of life, that's not necessarily a bad thing.
But it wasn't just about the marriage. The industry was relentless. The pressure was insane, and the media, they were hounding her. It was enough to make anyone want to disappear. So she did just that.
And this is before
she
social
moved
media.
Back to the UK, back to her roots, and tried to piece her life together. Sade didn't just find a new home. She found herself. She settled into a home in North London. But life threw her another curveball when the foundation of her house started crumbling. She was
because I heard in London a lot of the structure of their home is really old. We talking like forefathers old. Before the United States got their independence old. That's what I heard.
Forced out for 18 months while it was under construction. Just when you think things can't get worse, right? But Sade, being the resilient queen she is, took it in stride. During this time, she stayed out of the spotlight, avoiding the media circus. No more music, no more tours, just Sade, rebuilding her life brick by brick.
Okay, that's admirable. She just got to get her life right. Okay. So far in the video, all of these are admirable. Not admirable could be the word, but like, I think I'm going for a different word, just something as simple as understanding. It's understandable if it was just like life got a little too much, whatever. I just got to handle this, and then I can discuss it on future album releases, music releases. Let me just handle this real quick. Life is crazy right now. I understand it. I get that.
This hiatus wasn't just a break. It was a reset button.
Well, you know who you are, remember who you are, and then you can carry on a reasonably normal life.
She was reclaiming her sanity and independence, far away from the prying eyes of the public. But she wasn't alone. She found solace in a new relationship with Jamaican music producer Bob Morgan. They had a daughter, and for a while, life seemed to calm down. Okay. But as always, Sade was in control of her narrative. She moved to Jamaica, trying to connect with Bob's roots and give her daughter a sense of heritage.
I have a very similar editing style to you. If whoever, I don't know the person who knows R&B Daily is the account. I have a very similar editing style when I do these. So it's like I like to see how people approach like these type of music documentary and commentaries from an editing perspective, from a storytelling perspective, from a script writing perspective, and all in all, I'm like, okay, that's cool. And I'm thinking like, when I do these, should I start doing subtitles? But yeah, I'm kind of analyzing and stuff like that. And you're obviously not on camera, which I wonder if if I haven't seen the rest of your catalog, I wonder if there's a difference in retention time and how long people watch if they don't see you on camera versus if you're not on camera. That's interesting as well.
This split and relocation phase was crucial. It was a time of healing, reflection, and rediscovery. Sade was stepping back to step forward, and in the process, she was crafting the next chapter of her life on her own terms. Next, we'll explore how motherhood and these life changes led to a deeper rediscovery of herself.
Okay.
I am really a country girl who, when I was 17, I went to the big city in London and I spent half of my life there in London.
Becoming a mother was a game changer for Sade. It was a new beginning, a fresh start that allowed her to rediscover herself outside of the music industry's pressure.
That's good.
Motherhood transformed her.
And the music industry will try to prevent you from doing that. I heard a lot of artists talk about how their management or their label advise them not to get into serious relationships and not get into being a mother because it distracts. And it also says to your audience, to someone already like they feel like it taints your brand in a way, because sadly to say that like beautiful women who are musicians, part of like the selling point is to convince the guys have a chance with this person, right? It's the factor of aside, like the music has to be great in some way, or it doesn't have to be great, but ideally the music is great as well. Like Sade, take Sade for example. Like the selling point would be like men want her and women want to be her or be her friend, either envy or they want to be around her. We want to be around this person. And sometimes, you know, other relationships and other factors can get in the way of our perception and our expectations of what this person is making music is supposed to look like, live their life, and everything like that. And we have no right to do that, but that just goes into like the bullshit and the circus of the industry.
She wasn't just Sade, the global music icon. She was now Sade, the mom. This role allowed her to find a new kind of strength and purpose. She relocated to Jamaica, immersing herself in Bob's culture and heritage, providing a rich, diverse environment for their daughter to grow up in. This period was all about family, grounding herself, and finding joy in the simple things. But as always, life had its ups and downs. In 1998, Sade faced legal trouble in Jamaica.
Damn, arrest warrant for what?
She was accused of reckless driving and skipping court dates, which she later claimed were blown out of proportion.
Yeah, that ain't that crazy. That ain't that crazy. I thought you doggone, you know what I mean, was fight motherfuckers out here or something, like throwing shoes at chancletas at people, throwing TVs at people, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's not, what's the problem?
Despite this hiccup, she maintained her focus on family and personal growth.
Okay.
Living in Jamaica gave Sade the space she needed to breathe.
Our very focused Capricorn queen.
Away from the relentless spotlight, she could focus on what truly mattered. This wasn't just a break from music, it was a rebirth. She spent time connecting with her daughter, exploring new creative outlets, and just living life away from the chaos of fame. However, the music never truly left her. Even during her time off, Sade was always writing, always creating.
If I tell you,
You're always a creative, like you're always a creative and you're always artistic, even if you're not putting out music to the public eye, for public consumption. That doesn't change. Like, it's still in you. Like, that's what you're driven to do. You're still going to get that itch. That itch is going to come back. So anybody that's a writer, a poet, a creative anyway, you do a creative hobby anyway, and you feel like, dang, I haven't put out this in a while. Like, you know, how social media likes to make us feel that if we don't put it out, then it didn't exist. It didn't happen. That's not always true. Like, the things that you still do in your own time and you just keep it for yourself, that you're still an artist.
I tell you now.
She probably got so much music we haven't heard.
Your liver does more than you think. And with over
Just
500
because she didn't put it out doesn't mean it didn't get made. You know?
different responsibilities, it's time we start talking about liver.
It was just that the timing had to be right, and her heart had to be in it. She wasn't about to rush back into the industry until she was ready. This period of rediscovery and motherhood was essential for Sade. It allowed her to come back stronger, more centered, and more in tune with herself than ever before. And when she did return, the world was ready to embrace her all over again. Next up, we'll talk about the magical returns to the music scene.
So far, it's nothing too crazy about no dark secrets yet. You know, nothing too wild. This is pretty like normal for artists that take breaks. I think all these things are normal. We talked about motherhood, relationships, life was fucked up, so we got to take a break. I mean, pretty normal stuff. Pretty normal stuff.
By the time 2000 rolled around, she was ready to bless us with Lover's Rock.
That's also the thing. Oh, let me let you finish your point. I don't want to.
This album was like a breath of fresh air, a soulful reminder of why we fell in love with her in the first place. It earned her a Grammy for Best Pop Vocal Album.
Sade, darling.
But then, poof.
Poof.
She disappeared again. What's up with that? Sade wasn't hiding, though. She was living her life, raising her daughter, and dealing with her own stuff.
I get it. Okay. All right. Okay. So the title is just like, that's some YouTuber shit. Like, it ain't really nothing too crazy, but like you picked a topic and it was just like, oh, okay, like, why does she keep disappearing? But it's all regular shit. It's not like a deep secret, which like halfway through the video, you would get that and they'd be like, oh, okay, all right, whatever. It's like, oh, just normal Sade shit, which is like, that's good video work. I'm not taking nothing from you. That's great video work. Great title, great thumbnail, great idea, great execution. The editing is great. The script is great. Everything is great so far. I don't want you feel like I'm taking anything from you.
She told the media that making music wasn't something she could do on command. She needed to feel it to be in the right headspace. This is a woman who's always put authenticity over everything else. If her heart wasn't in it, she wasn't going to fake it. Fast
And the label don't like that. The label like, man, put out that music.
forward to 2010, and boom, she hits us with Soldier of Love.
Oh, my mama love this. My mama love that. My mama love that album. My mama love that album.
This album was fire. It shot straight to #1 on the Billboard 200, proving that Sade still had it.
Every day I'm mine.
The title track won a Grammy, and she went on a world tour, but it was clear that the spotlight was never her main goal. She wanted to share her art on her own terms.
Fair. That's fair.
And then, like a true queen, she stepped back into the shadows.
I just want to give you this greatness real quick, and then I'm going to go back and taking care of my family. What's the problem?
In 2018, she gave us Flower of the Universe for the A Wrinkle in Time soundtrack and The Big Unknown for the movie Widows.
Who's gonna walk away?
These tracks were a reminder that Sade's still got that magic touch. But again, she didn't stick around for the fame. She dropped her gems and retreated to her peaceful life. Why does she keep disappearing, you ask?
Because she don't want this bum-ass industry. You want to know for real? I'm gonna tell you for real. I ain't even check the comments. You know why? Because this industry is soulless. It has no spirit in it. It has no love. It doesn't give a fuck about you whether you live or die. You know what I mean? I don't want to say too much because I do have an interest of aligning somewhat with the industry. So like I can give like my platform, give artists a chance, and I can't do that if I'm blackballed. So I won't say too crazy. But this industry do not give a shit about you whether you live or die. It's only here to sell a product. However they want to spin and sell you, and then when you're no longer providing value, they discard you. Can't even get them on the line. They don't even provide mental health services. What the fuck, man? Man, you never get no peace and quiet when I'm recording. Sorry about that. That's very unprofessional of me. But I don't want to do that shit. I didn't get into the music. I didn't get into this to be treated like an animal. I got into this to connect with people, share my beautiful music, and I gotta go. It's time to go. I gave y'all it. It's time to go. Facts.
Because Sade values her peace and sanity over everything else.
It's a long time. Yeah, but I'm living in my own little time warp, you know. I have my own little time.
I like her speaking voice.
I can't adjust. Yeah, well, for me, it's essential that I live my life and I keep in touch with my roots and my people, my friends, and I can't just sort of split myself in that way.
She's not about the industry's pressure. She creates when she's ready,
Facts.
when it feels right.
Facts.
That's what makes her music so timeless. She's not just making songs, she's crafting experiences.
Facts.
Moments that resonate deeply with her fans. So, while we might wish for more frequent releases, Sade's way of doing things keeps her music pure.
I'm on the same track with you. I said that in the video before even hearing your points. We on the same wavelength right now. We on the same wavelength.
Untainted by the commercial grind. She comes back when the time is right, and when she does, it's always worth the wait. Let's roll back the clock and dig into Sade's early days. Born Helen Folasade Adu on January 16th,
Yeah, my grandma name is Helen.
1959, in Ibadan, Nigeria, Sade's roots are as rich and diverse as her music. Her Nigerian father was an economics professor, and her English mother was a nurse. Talk about a blend of brains and care. When Sade was just a wee girl, her parents split up. Her mom took her and her brother back to England, settling in a little town called Holland-on-Sea. Picture this, a young Sade trying to find her footing between two very different cultures. She didn't dream of singing back then. Nah, her heart was set on fashion. And
That's an interesting editing choice that you delved into her beginning roots towards the back half of the video. That's interesting. But I understand you had to deliver on the point of like, what are the dark secrets? And then if people were still around for the video, then you can be like, okay, that's why now here's her, you know, how she arrived at that point. I get where you're going. I get where you're going.
literature.
Your love is king.
5 words you pronounce wrong. 2 years before your brain starts shutting down.
Ain't nobody trying to hear that shit.
Imagine Sade as a designer or a writer. Crazy, right? But life had other plans. At 17, Sade moved to London to study fashion at
Shady.
St. Martin's School of Art. She wasn't just about those books, though. She got hands-on, designing and selling her own line of men's clothes.
Men's clothes, okay.
Hustling hard at Camden Market, she was getting her grind on, making a name for herself in the fashion scene. One day, fate knocked on her door. An old friend needed a backup singer for his band, Pride. Sade wasn't too keen, but she agreed to give it a shot. Little did she know, this was the start of something massive.
I like old pictures like this to show us like how the 80s and the 90s look like, photographs and stuff like that. When it's black and white, you can't really get the feel for it, but when it's in color, you know, like they try to give us them old ass Martin Luther King photos, black and white. We couldn't tell he had drip on. Him and Coretta Scott King had that drip on, had that style, had that flavor. We need to see all the culture and you know, and with color, so we can see, you know, the history of, you know, things before our time. I think we just crave that type of feel. We crave a lot of things in a digital era, you know. We're very nostalgic.
At first, she was just filling in, but her voice, smooth, sultry, and oh so captivating, quickly made her the star of the show. Pride was no ordinary garage band. They had a vibe, a presence that was turning heads. But Sade, she was the secret weapon. Her stage presence was magnetic. Before long, it was clear she was destined for bigger things. Pride's guitarist, Stuart Matthewman, and a few other members saw the potential. They broke off from Pride and formed their own band, keeping things simple and naming it after their star, Sade.
Like I said, early in the video, I did not know that. I did not know there was a band.
With Stuart on sax, Paul Denman on bass, and Andrew Hale on keys, they had the core of something special. In 1983, they signed with Epic Records, and the rest, as they say, is history.
You know who's along that same vein right now in today's current music is Cleo Sol. I can see Cleo Sol having this type of career.
Their debut album, Diamond Life, dropped in 1984 and blew up the charts.
Sade. Finally available, the Sade Diamond Life video.
Tracks like Smooth Operator and Your Love is King weren't just songs. They were anthems,
I play those every
setting
day.
the stage for a legendary career. From a small town girl with dreams of fashion to a global music icon, Sade's early life was a roller coaster of experiences that shaped her into the enigmatic artist we adore today.
I like that word, enigmatic, for her.
All the competition comes from inside us, you know, the competition with ourselves, and to try and get better and want to get better, it comes from inside, so it isn't the pressure from outside, really.
Now let's catch up with the Queen. She's living her best life these days. Sade's chilling in a rustic cottage in rural England with her man, Ian Watts. Now, Ian's no ordinary dude. He's a former Royal Marine and fireman turned scientist.
Okay, a very accomplished man.
Yep, she found herself an educated thug. They've carved out a peaceful life together, far from the prying eyes of the public and the pressure of the spotlight.
I like that. I like that.
Sade's legacy, it's untouchable. Even though she drops off the radar for years at a time, her music stays on repeat. She sold over 50 million records worldwide.
God!
But it's not just the
50, and this is pre-streaming era.
Numbers, it's the vibe she brings. Her influence, massive. Artists from Alicia Keys to Drake have shouted her out as a major influence.
There go Drake freaky ass in there, man. Sade, keep the family away. I'm just playing. Anybody who's a Drake fan, I'm just playing. Drake, if you ever see this, I'm just playing.
Sade's
He a fan. Mm-hmm. But yeah, nigga, 69 God.
Music broke boundaries, mixing genres in ways that paved the road for many of today's top artists. Her style is a masterclass in staying real and evolving with grace. And then there's her son, Isaac. In 2016, Isaac came out as transgender, and Sade was right there by his side, showing nothing but love and support.
I remember that being a big story. I remember that.
Isaac's journey was another chapter in Sade's story of strength and compassion. It's clear that being a mom is as big a part of her life as her music, if not bigger. Sade's story is one of elegance, resilience, and timeless beauty. She's an artist who's always stayed true to herself, never bending to industry pressure. Her music continues to touch souls around the world, proving that true artistry never fades. So yeah, she might be living the quiet life now, but her legacy, that's forever.
I like that.
If you're as hyped about Sade's journey and her timeless music as we are, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Join our crew to stay in the loop with the latest deep dives into the lives of your favorite celebs. Got thoughts on Sade or any other artist you want us to cover? Drop them in the comments below. Stay tuned, stay curious, and keep vibing to the music that moves you.
And Sade's music is best suited when, like she said, and the people involved in this video and curating this video, you got to curate a chill, tranquil vibe. And you know, in the field that I work with, is very stressful. You know, I work with autism, kids that, you know, have autism and stuff like that. And some of the behaviors, it's like, you know, it can get a little stressful. So throw on that Sade, let everybody calm down, everybody get into a good vibe, and it sets the tempo. So it sets the tempo, just like, and it when I hear her music, it calms me. It makes me more patient. It makes me more receptive. It makes me more just like, hey, just chill out, you know, just chill out. It makes me feel more compassionate too, you know.
Peace.
Makes me feel like the Bruce Lee quote, "Be like water." That was fire, R&B Daily. I'm gonna throw the link in the description box. Check out the original video, and yeah, if you're interested in more things that I do, reactions, commentary, I do it all. I'm start doing more vlogs, but I do vlogs too. I do it all, but I'm just a guy that loves music. You know what I mean? I'm not an expert, nothing like that. I just like music. I like kicking it, like chilling, like talking about music. You know, I hope you have a wonderful day. Steve Levino, as always, I'll be safe. Sweet.